Now that we have our rough sketch done, what we'll start doing now is inking our layers. Now, each aspect that we want to move, for instance, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and even the hair, there's going to be 3 different sections of hair. Each section will have its own layer. So we're going to ink those layers now. In addition to, we're going to be leaving some very large gaps and drawing some invisible lines that will help us create a style when we start adding color. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing I want to do is lock my sketch layer. And I'm going to add another drawing layer. And I'm going to call this the neck. We'll start from the neck and move upward. Now, for inking, some people like to use a pencil, but because of the open gap style that I use, I like working with the paintbrush. And I'm going to go ahead and select the color black. And I'm going to draw in these first lines. Now, if you look, this line's way off. Something you want to get in the habit of when you're working on things is just having your hand right on the keyboard. So you can do Command Z and undo that line. And then just kind of wait till you get the line you want. That looks really good. And this next one, that looks better. All right, so that's the neck. But if you note, if we try to actually fill this in with color, that wouldn't work too well. So I'm going to go over to my paint bucket tool, come down to stroke, and with stroke, I can freehand out the large section that I'm going to want filled in for the neck. And once I let go, I'm going to get a warning that says you've added a stroke to the drawing, but it will not be visible unless you activate Show Strokes from the View menu. Now, I normally leave this box unchecked because in case I forget to do this, so let's go ahead and click OK. I'm going to simply press the letter D. Now, I'm making sure that my camera view is active when I do this, and when I press the letter D, now the strokes are actually showing. So if I zoom in here, let's do Command equals, you can see that invisible stroke I just drew, and I can come here to the bottom of the neck and draw another one. And so now, if I decided to fill this in, if I grab my paint bucket, let's grab the color blue temporarily here just to show this. I can click there and it fills it in. So we're going to be doing that with several layers here, just to make sure everything works right. It's going to undo that, unfill that, and I'll continue making some other layers. I'm going to make the mouth layer. And we'll draw that first little line there. Draw Donnie's lip. I'm going to zoom out here. And we can also select our lines and smooth them out. Let's do Option Shift and the letter S. That's Alt Shift S on PC. That looks pretty good. And we'll do the nose. Let's go ahead and do a rough estimate of that real quick. That looks pretty decent. Maybe extend that just a little. And let's go ahead and work on the head now. Now, the head layer is going to be a little interesting, but what we're going to do, call this layer head. And this will consist of the ear, and part of his hair. Now, the rest of this is going to be actually drawn invisible. So we'll go to our paint bucket, come down to stroke, and we'll close this one area. And we'll also come down. I'm going to make it just a very large, almost a teardrop shape. I'm going to zoom in here and make sure these lines meet up. Let's grab our contour editor and make sure everything is all together. So if we zoom out, and let's see if we can use our paint bucket and fill this in. We have one little small area that's still messed up. So again, we'll just zoom in and have those line up. And we'll grab our paint bucket. And now it all fills in. Let's do Command Z. So we have our head. Let's do another drawing layer. We'll call this hair _1. And we'll close this gap right now. Another drawing, it's going to be hair _2. Make sure we're on the right tool. Go to our paintbrush. And get our stroke tool. And we'll do hair _3. Grab our stroke. And we'll also set up the eyes. Now the eyes we're not going to do too much detail on right now because we're going to be doing the bulk of our detail when we create the eye symbols. But we at least need a base for the eyes to start. And so there's our base for the eyes. We'll do another layer, and this is for the eyebrows. All right, and let's zoom out. And we have now inked each and every layer. So each of these layers not only have their drawings there, but we also come in and pointed out where we need to close things. We'll also come back in and close, of course, the mouth, and we'll close the gap here on the nose. But we are now set up to start rigging the character and building out each head layer more in detail. So remember, when you're working on any type of limited character, you have to remember anything that you'll want to animate has to have its own separate layer.